Guys, you know my love of Magic Spoon. Each serving has 0 grams of sugar, 14 grams of protein, 4 net carbs, and only 140 calories in the entire bowl. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. Perfect if you're trying to lean up for summer. Magic Spoon's bringing back a limited edition birthday cake flavor in a special 5-pack. This flavor sold out last year, so order now because it's going to sell out again. There's a lot of amazing flavors to choose from. You got blueberry, cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, cinnamon, and of course, I got to tell you, my favorite is frosted. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product. It is backed by a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they will refund your money, no questions asked. For my Canadian friends, Magic Spoon is now shipping to Canada. Click on the link to get the limited edition birthday cake 5-pack today or build your own box. From their best-selling flavors, remember, use the promo code Chael for $5 off before they sell out. Is Colby next? Has Colby played this right? And Colby has something tremendous on his side, which is Dana White, who said Colby is likely next. In the haste, though, and in the absence of Usman and or Masvidal, and I think that Usman has to win. I think Usman has to win for Colby to be in play. And as much as you all would like to see Masvidal versus Colby, hold that thought. If Masvidal beats Usman, they got to do that one again, right? Can we agree to that? We go to the trilogy. So if Usman wins, right, a lot of ifs, a lot of moving parts, but you got to hedge your bet somewhere. Usman wins, Usman versus Colby. Okay, fine. But what about Leon? Leon's going to get some major shine when he takes on Nate. If Leon beats Nate, that will represent Leon's second performance in a small period of time, not to mention a number 3 ranking. Opportunity and a platform known as a microphone to tell his story to the world and try to get him raised. If Nate beats Leon, you're not thinking of that. Nate is a tremendous star, and Usman is going to act like he has no interest in Colby and no interest in rematches and only wants Nate. Now, Usman's going to be playing us. He's going to be wanting the money. He's going to want the payday. He's going to want the attention, but he's not wrong to do it, and we're still going to have to deal with that factor. So there's just a couple of things that have to happen before we can quite settle on Colby, and you also have Chimaev. Chimaev was in prime position to have one fight, get a victory that was going to be over Leon and go right into a title shot himself. So can Colby hold out and beat all of those? I submit for you, it would only be fair. It would only be fair, guys. And I know we don't use that word. I know that word doesn't exist in our sport, but you guys like to turn to it. And I will just remind you, Colby Covington versus Kamaru Usman is the greatest welterweight fight I've ever seen. It is amongst the greatest fights I have ever seen. It is the dirtiest war. It was the closest battle, 2-2 going into the 5th. And that fight would have been remade at the press conference that night. We would have already seen Usman Covington 2 in any other world. But there was a false rumor going around that Colby had a broken jaw, and the rumor allegedly had a source of Colby. Allegedly Colby in between rounds. And I got to say allegedly because it might have happened. I didn't get to watch it on a broadcast where I could hear this. I was there live. I was sitting with Helwani and the only person cheering for Colby in the whole building, my mom, watching this contest. So I didn't get to hear what was said, but what I was told after the fact is that the announcers heard Colby or thought they heard Colby in between rounds tell his cornerman, my jaw is broken. So they brought that to the world, rightfully so. That would be a major story within that fight. It just turned out that whether Colby said it or didn't say it, or Colby thought it or didn't think it, it wasn't true. He was fine. I bring that to you because the only reason that fight was not guaranteed us the same as Figueiredo Moreno, by example, where the fight happened, it was amazing. Dana walked through the press conference. Here's what happened at hard stop. Aljo versus Jan. Dana goes to the press conference. We're doing this one again. Hard stop. Ngannou knocks out Rosenstrike. Dana goes to the press conference. Ngannou's the number 1 contender. Hard stop. The only thing that held him up from remaking and promising us that match part 2 was the rumor going around about Colby's jaw, which turned out to not even be true, not to mention nobody's business. If Colby's in a fight right now with the broken jaw, it's none of your business to stop him from walking into a fight with a broken jaw. You're not getting him out of one. You're not stopping this fight because of the broken jaw. So what the hell business is of yours how he feels? I mean, I would add that to the story. It was nobody's business to repeat that to the audience and say that Colby has a broken jaw. You took a major opportunity from a guy, and I am retelling the story, but I'm retelling accurately. The only reason that fight hasn't already been signed and already promised to us and already done it in the books is because somebody shared what they believe to be Colby's medical history with the world. That's what happened. So you want to talk about what's fair? You want to talk who belongs in there? Colby versus Kamaru is the greatest and the closest and the dirtiest, in all fairness, fight I've ever seen. There was a tension and a buildup to that fight like I have never observed. I was in the arena that night. My sweet mother, who's known Colby since he's a little boy, who was cheering for him, was getting looks and then threats of things thrown at her. She's 70 plus years old. That's the kind of tension there was in this room. To act as though we're not going to do that again. Oh, and by the way, when Colby gets another win over another former world champion along the way, come on, man. I don't want to hear about all this stuff. I don't want to hear about who the bigger draw is or where I don't want to hear any of those things because they're not true. You want to talk about draw, you want to talk about stuff. It's all Colby. You can't tell me that in deserve it's Colby. Ranking it's Colby. Colby gets Usman if Usman wins. Is the way that it should be. And the only thing to get in the way of that is us, the audience, who pretends to be objective and fair thinkers, coming out, lying, saying we think someone else should get the opportunity. We don't think that. We don't think anyone else should get the opportunity. We will all concede to the jury that everything Chael just said is spot on. But unless we come out with a different narrative just to be jerks, any way you want to look at this, who deserves, who should be, who's ranked highest, who sells the most, the answer's Colby.
On the feet, or on the ground, undefeated, never lost a round. Biggest arms in the city of Westland, undisputed, GOAT king of wrestling. Tito tapped, Fado quit. John Jones broke a toe and had to sit. Anderson got mauled and bashed, and the bad guy made off with a bag of cash. Oh, and by the way, let me offer this. Chael knows just how good Conor McGregor is, and he knows into all this where Kevin Lee fits, but he'll never reveal the secrets to business. Uncle Chael, Uncle Chael, Uncle Chael, Iranami, Uncle Chael, Uncle Chael, Uncle Chael.